Standard 8th English Medium. In Maths, we are going to start a new chapter, chapter number 5, which is data handling. In the previous standards also, you learn about data handling. What is the data? How to represent the data, and so on. So now here also we have to learn some more in data handling. How to group the data, how to represent them using the class intervals, and then the pie chart, and so on. So now at the last also there will be some different things regarding. So actually data handling is a part of a statistics. Statistics is the one of the branch of mathematics, in which mostly we have to deal with numbers. Most time we will have to deal with the numbers only. So that branch of mathematics is known as statistics. And one of the part of the statistic, means the basic things, is the data and data handling. So now, what is actually the data? Data is like when we get some information. Nowadays, that data is very, very popular, like COVID-19 cases. How many new cases today? How many old cases? How many people died due to corona? How many get recovered? We are getting that informations either on the television, by newspapers, or on your mobile, like on the WhatsApp chats, or on Facebook, or anywhere. We are getting those informations, which is in the numbers, numerical informations. So that information actually is called the data. Actually, the numerical information is called an observation. If it is only one thing, then it is known as observation. But the collection of such informations, the collection of such observations is called data. So here, the data is obtained for a particular reason. We just don't get data. There must be a proper reason to collect the data. For example, runs made by a batsman in the last 10 test matches. So maybe XYZ is a batsman. So in last 10 matches, how many runs scored by him, that we get information. So that we can understand, is he a nice batsman or worse batsman, or what type of batsman is it? Second, number of wickets taken by a bowler in the last 10 one-day internationals. So here also, if they are choosing the cricketers for the next matches, selection is taking place, then they will see the figures of the last few matches. And if the performance of that bowler or that batsman is better than the others, then they can be selected in the team. And for that we have to get that data. means the information about the few previous matches. Similarly, in your class also, we take the tests. So we have to make the list of the marks obtained by the students so that we can understand which student is doing better, which students are little weak, which students need more practice. Then only we can understand by collecting that information that which student get how many marks in the previous few tests, so that we can tell them that somebody must work more hard, little hard, or whatever is there. So here the reason must be valid that why we are collecting data. Similarly, the number of storybooks read by each of your friends, etc., etc., etc. So here in this all examples that I gave you, we get information which are numerical, means in numbers. So these are known as the data. Now we know that to represent the data, sometimes we use graphs, because graphical representation is much better to display the data. It is easy to represent also, and it is easy to understand also. So the graphical representation is more popular in the representation of data, because as I told you, it is very easy to explain the other people about your data. For example, if company is making its profile so that the people can buy their shares, then they must represent their data that's showing their turnover in few last years, their profit percentage, their quality, etc., etc. So that if they will tell it in words, then it is not easy to understand that in 2015 their turnover was something million, their profit was something percentages, then the next year blah blah blah, etc., etc., etc. It is not easy to remember that all things, and also we don't want to read that sometimes. But the same information, if they represent using the graphs, then graph can show you that how the graph is going up or going down, so that we don't have to read it properly. So from the graph, from the picture, the information can be more clear. So in this, we can say that sometimes data is represented graphically to give clear idea of the data. There are so many types of graph to represent the data. Like first one is the pictograph. You already learned how to draw pictographs in standard 6. In pictograph we use some symbols, and for one symbol you can choose that what are that units. We can use smiley like this. You can take one smiley is equal to 10%, then if you put 2 smiley, then it is 20, 3 smiley, then it is 30, and so on. So data can be represented using the symbols. Symbols can be different types of, like that persons, that you can show like that also. 7% is 100 or 1000, whatever is there. Or sometimes the data is represented for some products like number of cars sold, number of watches sold, number of books, etc. Then you can draw small car also if your drawing is nice. My drawing is not so much. If you can use watches also, like watches. So, according to your imagination, you can use symbols to represent the data. I can show you the picture here. Here, as I told you, that one car, the symbol is taken as car. That one symbol is equal to 100 cars here taken. So, you can see that different month, July, August, September, the number of cars are shown. So, here you can see that we can use this car. Or, if you can't draw it car, you can easily take any symbol, just like a star, or a square, or a circle, whatever symbol, only just we have to mention that one star, if you take star, that one star is equal to how many units, number of cars or number of people, number of children, whatever is that, or marks. So you can use the pictograph. Second is a bar graph, that also we already learned in the 6th and 7th standard. In bar graph, what happens? A display of information using bars of a uniform width, means the width of all the bars will be the same. Only the height of the bars will be different. Heights of the bar will be according to the information, and therefore the width will be same, but the height of the bar will be proportional to the respective values. Means the value is more, the length of the height of the bar will be more. If the value of that information is small, the height of that bar also will be small. So the height will depends on the proportional to the respective values, but the width of each bar will be the same. Then sometimes two information together of one thing only. Then this time we can use double bar graph also. For example, particular students marks in 5 tests in 2 subjects, maths and science. Then to represent that data on a single page, we can use a double bar graph also, so that they can compare the results. Two information of sets, two sets of data together. Maybe the production of a company or whatever is there, when we are representing two sets of data together, then we can use a double bar graph also. So there can be a different type of graphs can be used to represent the data. Now in the try this, there are some questions are given. We have to draw appropriate graph. They didn't tell you that which type of graph we have to draw. You can choose your own way by the observation. The first question is, in the month of July, August, September, October, November and December, number of watches sold, that information is given. In July 1000 watches, in August 1500, in September also 1500 and so on. Now I choose bar graph, but you can draw a pictograph also by using a symbol. So now here I showed here how to draw a bar graph. Actually you already know about it, but just to recall your memory, I'm gonna show you one bar graph. The other questions are maybe having double bar graph that you can draw yourself. So now here to represent the bar graph, we need a graph paper. Everybody is familiar with the graph paper, in which we have to draw x-axis and a y-axis. The horizontal line is known as x-axis and the vertical line, both are perpendicular to each other. The vertical line is known as y-axis. And now on the x-axis, at the same distance, you know that the dark lines are at 1 centimeter. So you can choose 2 centimeter or you can choose 1 centimeter. It depends on you. So here we take the months July, August, September, October, November and December. And then on the y-axis, we have to choose a scale according to your information. Here I took 1 centimeter is equal to 500 watches. But if your page is big, you can take 100, 200, 300, 400 also. Or 250, 500, 750,000 and so on. So here I have limited space. So I took 1 centimeter is equal to 500 watches. So I put 500, 1000, 1500, 2000, 2500, 3000 and so on. But you can choose your own according to the size of your graph paper. Then check the first month, July. In the month of July, 1000 watches are sold. So now between there the dark line is there. So on the sides of the dark line you can choose 1 or 2 lines and draw a same height. Here will be 1000. So at 1000 you have to draw that lines and close it. That is your bar graph of July month. Then take the August month. In August month there is 1500 watches sold. So at August the height will be up to 1500. Width will be same, all of them. But the heights are according to the information, value of the information. Similarly in the September also same. So height will be same here. Then in October the 2000 watches were sold. So the height will be up to 2000. Then November 2500 and December again 1500. So it is very simple. In double bar graph what we have to do? Just we have to take the, like it is here, one dark line is there. Then one information you can take on the left side and one information on the right side. Then you can draw the double bar graph also. So here the question 2 and question 3 has two together informations. So in homework you have to do question number 2 and 3 of the try this. You have to draw the double bar graphs by taking proper scale. And you know how to do it because in previous standards we already learned about this. So now we are going to stop the video, and in the next session we will learn how to organize data, how to make groups of the data, mean grouping of the data, and make the frequency distribution table and so on. After this it will be followed by PDF file. Write down that all things in your notebook, draw the graphs in the graph book, and if any problem write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.